What's up guys, and welcome back to today's video. So since it is tis the season, I decided I wanted to do a couple videos on, different holiday collections for affordable makeup. So the first brand that I chose to do was PROFUSION. And as you can see, I kind of have a bin full of stuff that I ordered online, as well as I did find a few things in Walmart as well. So I have used as many of these products on my face today, so I could kind of give my thoughts right away on if it's worth going out and, trying to find these holiday items. So for those of you that haven't heard of PROFUSION, it's a very affordable drugstore makeup line. You can find it in Target, as well as they did have some holiday items and some of their staple items in Walmart as well. And then obviously you can find them online. So for today's video, I had about 3 different eyeshadow palettes, a highlight palette, a blush palette, and then of course a bunch of lip items. So in this video, I wanted to give my opinions on how I thought about the products that I did use, as well as the price point and where exactly you can find them. So if these are the kind of videos you like, don't forget to give me that thumbs up, as well as please subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's get into this video. So right off the bat, I want to give a disclaimer. I did not pick up everything from the holiday collection. So I did purchase this all on my own. So I purchased things that I will find that I will use on an everyday basis if I find that they're a quality product. The first palette that I did pick up is the Mixed Metals in Rose Gold. Now this kind of came in like a pack. It came with also a lip topper and a brush that I'll get into both of those as well. And this whole kind of kit retailed for $10, which I thought was really affordable. The second eyeshadow palette that I bought was the Bare Eyes. Now this came also with a brush inside of it, and it came with matte and shimmer shades, as well as it did come with a mirror. This palette retails for $7, and it comes with 10 different shades, which again I thought was a great price for the the amount of product that you are receiving. And then the third palette that I did purchase was the Infatuation palette. Now this was the only one that really kind of caught my eye with the tones of the colors that are involved in the palette. So this retails for $10 as well. It did also come with a dual-ended eyeshadow brush for that. So in completing this look today, I did start with my eyes. So I basically just primed them with a concealer, and then I went into the Infatuation palette, and I went in with this lightest shade here called Polite, and I just used that to set the concealer on my eyes. That kind of gave me a nice even base, so I could really see the pigment that these shadows did give off. And then from there, I went into the Bare Eyes palette, and I went into the shade Silky, which is a really light cream shade right there, as my first upper crease transition shade. Now, obviously, this is close to my skin tone. I just wanted to set up a base to continue to work with darker transitions to get the eye look that I did want to create. So after Silky, I stayed with this eyeshadow palette, and I went into this darker beige shade right here I think it's called Gallant, and then I used that as my first transition shade. So I do also want to mention that I was using the brushes that are included in all of these palettes, and I will say that they are pretty good quality. Most of the time when any brush comes with a palette, I just kind of chuck it aside, but I wanted to give these a fair shot, and they're very soft, and they did a great job blending. So I'm going to keep these with the palette, so when I continue to use them, I can just use the brushes that came with them. So from there, I went back into the Infatuation palette here, and I took the shade Dough, which is just a little bit deeper than the last shade that we used, and using that as my second transition shade, going a little bit lower on my eye. So from there, I went into this Mixed Metals palette, and I went in with the deepest shade, which is Devious. It's that dark brown right there. And I went in the outer corner of my eye to kind of smoke it out just a little bit. I wasn't going to do anything too crazy. So from there, I moved on to my lid. I went into the Infatuation palette, and I went with the first shimmer shade, which is called Halo. It's this very light champagne type shade, and I started to work that onto my lid, starting at the inner corner. Now, it wasn't giving me the payoff that I wanted, so I decided I was going to lay down concealer to give me more of a payoff from the shade, and then it worked great. Now, I do want to say with these palettes, there is a little bit of fallout, but that's never a make or break for me with a palette. If it blends out beautifully on the eye, I'm more than happy to just do my eye makeup before I do my face makeup, because then you can just easily wipe it away with a makeup wipe. It's no big deal. And I went into the next shimmer shade to kind of do the middle of my eyelid, and it's called Dizzy right there. And the same thing, I had the concealer laid down, so it gave me the payoff that I wanted from there. And then more towards the outer part of my eye, I went back into the Mixed Metals palette, and I used the metallic shade Crackle, and that worked beautifully as well with the concealer down. And then to finish off the eyeshadow look, just to highlight my brow bone, I went back into the shade Silky here from the Bare Eyes palette. And I do also want to say, with playing around with these eyeshadows, I noticed that the Mixed Metals as well as this Bare Eyes palette have 3 of the same shadows. They both come with Silky, Heavenly, and Zing, which is these 3 shades right here. The next 2 products that I picked up are face products. I picked up a highlight and a contour, and then a blush palette as well. Now, I picked these up from Walmart, and I think they were about like $4.88 a piece, and they each come with 6 different shades. So in the blush shades, you kind of have, a brighter pink, more of nude shades, and then kind of like this deeper mauve shade here. Now, most of them do have a slight shimmer in it, and I will say when I applied it to the face, you could kind of tell that it had a little bit of a sheen. It's nothing overpowering, but if you don't want to accentuate your texture, this might not be the palette for you. I did love how they blended out. I used Juicy and Great, these 2 right here. I kind of mixed them together for the blush that I have on today that created a really, really beautiful kind of rosy cheek. For $5, I really don't see a negative in grabbing this palette. I do also like that the lid is like magnetic here, so you don't have to worry about it flying open if you have it, you know, you throw it in your makeup bag. And then moving on to this highlight and contour palette, again, it came with 6 different shades. So in this palette, you did get 5 different highlight shades as well as the 1 contour shade. So I did use this contour shade today. Now I will say it is very light, but I like the fact that I could easily build it up. I would prefer being able to build up something to the shade that I want it to be, rather than to just dip it in once and then you apply it to your face and you're like, holy crap, how am I gonna blend this out? So I did find it really easy to work with that contour shade. And then as far as my highlight today, I used the shade Impulse and Heartfelt, which is these 2 right here. I just mixed them together and applied it to my cheekbones as well as the bridge of my nose and my Cupid's bow. So just to wrap it up with this highlight and contour palette, I really found it was easy to work with. The shades are very, very creamy and they blend out beautifully. For $5, I don't see why you wouldn't pick this up. And then moving on to the lips, I picked up 3 different lip kits. I just couldn't help myself. 2 of them are the 3-piece velvet lip kits, and then I have 1 Lips to Go, which is the matte lip cream and lip liner with the sparkling topper. So I have used a Lips to Go kit in one of my previous videos. It was a dedicated PROFUSION video. I will link it up, whatever side, I'll link it up there for you guys. And I did find that I absolutely was obsessed with it. So I was really excited when I saw that they did come out with the velvet version with their holiday collection. So that's why I picked up the 2 different shades. So on my lips today, I have the shade Bear. So in these lip kits, you get a lip liner, the lipstick, and then a lip strobe that kind of like tops it to kind of give you that glossy effect. I'm gonna go ahead and I wanted to swatch the shade that I have on my lips. So over here is the gloss, then the lip liner, and then the lipstick. They applied so beautifully to the lips, and I like the fact that the lipstick had a little bit of grit to it. Sometimes with lipsticks, especially like the velvet or the satin formula, they kind of slip all over your lips. I like the fact that the lipstick was similar to the Flower Beauty formulation and the fact that they weren't as slippery. They had a little bit more stick to them. And I don't mean stick in a bad way. I just like that when you applied it, you didn't have to worry about when you puckered your lips together that they were sliding out of your lip lines. So these kits all retail for $5, which I think is amazing. So I do highly recommend trying out these lip products if you're in Target and you happen to run across them. Okay, so that is all of the products that I did purchase from their holiday collection. And I have to say that I was really, really impressed with everything that I purchased. Now, obviously, I want to keep playing around with the eyeshadow palette so I can use more of the shades, but the ones that I did use, I found were really, really beautiful. All right, guys, so somebody decided that they wanted to wake up early from their nap, so she's just going to help us finish out this video. So with the Mixed Metals palette, you know how I told you it came with a lip gloss and a brush? Well, it's not a lip gloss. If I actually read, I would have seen that it says it is a sparkling eyeliner. So obviously, I did not use this in my look today, but I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to swatch it for you guys. If Lennox holds still, just so you can kind of get an idea of the look of it. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's definitely like a gold. It has some like pink reflex in it as well. It's very pretty. I'd have to see if you kind of build it up to be able to see it on the eye. To kind of wrap up my thoughts on this holiday collection, I was very impressed with everything. I can see myself using everything on the daily, as well as even using those brushes, which I know a lot of times people are like, when the brushes come with the palettes, they're junk. But I found that they were really of high quality and they blended out the eyeshadows perfectly. Now, if I had to pick my favorite items of the collection, it would definitely be the lip products. I really think that part of PROFUSION's strong point is their lip products. They just glide on the lips easily. They stay put when you apply them, as well as the lip liners are just so creamy. From there, I really enjoyed this palette, and I can't wait to create different looks with the other shimmer shades that are in the palette. So as far as the Bare Eyes and the Mixed Metals go, I did really like both of these palettes as well. You know, with them having the same kind of duplicate shades, I don't feel like that you need both. They both blended beautifully though, and they had quality shades. So it's really just a matter of, do you just prefer the eyeshadows, or do you like kind of the palettes that come with the blush as well as the highlight? Now, this one is $7 compared to this one that's 10, so you're paying a couple extra bucks, but it's really just up to you on what you're looking for in the eyeshadow palette. And then as far as the highlight and contour palette and the blush palette, again, I thought that these were great for the price point. I did love all of the shades in the blush palette. Now, these do have a little bit of a shimmer, so if that's something that kind of bothers you because it might pull forward some of your texture, then you might not find that you like this one. But again, it was very, very subtle. And then as far as the highlight and the contour goes, I loved that the contour was something that you could build up, that it didn't just go in so strong and then you felt like you couldn't blend it out. As well as I did love mixing these two lightest Lennox. I did love that the highlight that I created with mixing Heartfelt and Impulse. I think that it looked beautiful on my skin. It kind of gave me just a little bit of a subtle glow. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. In the comments down below, let me know if you've already picked up anything from their holiday collection, or if there's, a few items that you might go and get your hands on now after watching my video. So if you found this helpful, please give me a thumbs up, as well as please subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time, won't we, Lennox? Say bye.
Take me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you.